And finally, I'm going to open up several different pages here. We'll do O'Reilly. And of course, we'll do my page. And the Mac user group. And click on the bookmarks menu here. It says add bookmark for these 3 tabs. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to call this favorites. I'll just call it faves. And it's going to save it to my bookmarks bar, which is what I want. I can save it elsewhere, but I want it on the bar. And I click on add. Now I'm going to close these 2. We'll leave O'Reilly up. And I'm going to click on faves. And you see how faves has this little box here? Now you notice on popular it has a little disclosure pyramid, meaning if I click on it, there's drop downs here. And I could click on open tabs, it would open all these windows. Or I should say all those pages. Faves has this little box which is telling me that it's going to open more than 1 tab at a time if I choose to use it. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see it's opening my Understand Your Mac page and the Mac Computer Expo page at the same time. Oh, there we go. So that's a way, if you have a favorite set of pages that you want to use and you don't want to use the top sites view for whatever reason, you can instead click on faves and that'll take care of you instead. Now let's talk about some of the downsides of Safari 4. Safari 4 is a public beta released by released by Apple. And that means that since it's a beta, it's not quite ready for prime time. And certainly I've seen some shortcomings, and I've read plenty of shortcomings on the internet about what's happening. I've noticed some shortcomings or some stability issues with Facebook. Now, whether those issues are with Facebook's new interface or with Safari 4, I'm not sure. But there is a bit of a conflict there, so I find myself going back and using Firefox a lot of times when I'm in Facebook. And I was listening to Mac Geek Gab, which is a great podcast. It comes off of iTunes. And over on episode 193, they were talking about how Safari 4 installs a new version of the WebKit into the operating system. And WebKit is used by programs like Mail to render images. So they use the same engine. The same engine that renders in Mail is the same engine that renders images in Safari. And so what happens is when you change the engine in Safari, you're changing the engine in Mail, and it's actually changing a core part of the operating system. So if you choose to put Safari 4 on your computer, the beta version, you're making some pretty deep changes. The good news is that you can uninstall it if you need to. Let's talk about where you can get. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I love how the O'Reilly page, the eyes blink on the character here. But if you want to download the beta, because you're not going to be able to get it just by using Software Update, you have to go to apple.com and then type in Safari. And you'll see this page here. Again, it tells you it's beta. And then you'll just click on download there, or you can click on download here, either way, because they're free. And of course, it's available for Windows and Mac. I'm going to uncheck that because I get that anyway. And we'll go ahead and let that download. I'm going to let it download off screen since it'll take a few moments with my connection. Okay, so the download is completed. And I just wanted to show you this one thing. Since obviously I already have Safari 4 installed, I wanted to make sure that you knew where to find the uninstaller if you had a bad experience with Safari 4. So right here in the Safari download, and this is version Leo. I'm not sure what that means, but it's entertaining. we have the installer right there. We also have the uninstaller. And if you use the uninstaller, it will return you back to Safari 3. So if you find that the experience you're having with Safari 4 is conflicting with whatever it is that you're doing, go ahead and use this uninstaller. And if you've accidentally deleted it, do like I just did and go back out to the Safari website and download it again and use the uninstaller. So I'm going to close that, and we'll eject that. And let's take a look at one other program. I'm going to do Command H here. I'm going to go to my Applications folder and hit the S key on my keyboard, and that takes me down to the S's. And let's take a look at Safari Buddy here, Safari 4 Buddy I should say. That's the first time I'm opening it on this user. And look at this. This will go in and it will patch things for us. So like, I don't like the bar on the top. I don't like the circular load. I should have pointed that out to you. I think that's just the only thing I want to change there. But we have all these options. We can go fancy URL completion list, Google suggest. We can get rid of cover flow if we want to. We can also get rid of our top sites, and we can include top sites. I should say we can get rid of the animation for top sites. We can do a lot of stuff. So I'm going to quit out of Safari 4 Buddy. Let's close this window. And I'm going to quit Safari and relaunch it. It's letting me know that I had 3 tabs open, and do I really want to quit? Now let's give it a relaunch here. And it takes me to the Apple Start page. Command T for a new tab. And we'll do O'Reilly, but take a look at where my tab is now. You see how that is? So instead of being up here, which I found very frustrating, it's right here. And as the page is loading, tell it to reload, you can see how we have the blue bar back and our little symbol is down here in the tab like Safari 3. I didn't point it out, but in Safari 4 without that setting, we have the little action, the action ball I guess is what I call it, or the gear, right here instead, and we don't get that blue bar going across the top. So Safari 4 Buddy, something that I think is very good, and I'm going to have the URL where you can download that over at the show notes at understandyourmac.com. So that's it for this look at Safari 4 Beta, and once the final version is released, we'll go into it much deeper. And next time, we're going to talk about creating an enhanced podcast before we dive back into our iWeb Masterclass. So I'm James with Understand Your Mac, and I wish you a great day.